everybody, Susan Friesen here with eVision Media, bringing you today's video eTip, and I have a special guest with me, and this is JoAnne. She is an expert in hiring and managing millennial employees, and I thought I would snab her to come and talk to us a little bit about the process of hiring a millennial employee, and what is the difference? You know, why do we need to learn a little bit about managing and hiring millennials? So take it away, JoAnne. Tell us a little bit about you and your expertise and millennial hiring.
Thanks, Susan. One of the biggest challenges is that there are five generations all working in a workplace, and depending on your needs as a business owner, you can hire anyone. But the thing is that things have changed in the workplace. So what is happening right now is an older person. I'm a baby boomer, so some of the work ethics and behaviors of a millennial kind of surprised me, but it actually started many years ago with Boom, Bust, and Echo, a great book about the changes in the workplace and the generations. So not every millennial or every generation has the same characteristics. But we tend to categorize millennials as being, entitled, lazy in some cases. That's not true at all. There's a huge number that are highly creative. They're so technologically adaptive and knowledgeable. They have energy, they have great ideas and highly creative, and they can multitask quite well. So one of the things that, as an employer, a small employer, small business, be very clear on the position and the job description and the culture that's already in your business. I think that's really what millennials want to know. They want very good specifics. So what type of company are you? Is there a match here? Will I like you as a boss? Will you become my friend? Can I call you Hank instead of Mr. Jones? They have no sense of hierarchy whatsoever, and everybody needs to be their friend. Now I am speaking generally. So not everyone is like that, but to get the most out of a millennial, that's a person between 19 and 36 years of age, typically. It varies depending on where you do your research. But the 20-year-olds are right out of university, and they feel very powerful. They've got all these skills, all these great ideas, and then you tell them that they're going to be sweeping floors and entering data and that kind of thing, and they're going, hello, I have this great brain, and you're not even asking me what I can do. So some of along with a really very definite job description, you need to also be very aware of the type, the personality that you want in your business. Do you need them full of energy? Are they meeting lots of customers? Are they on the phone a lot? Because the energy goes over the telephone as well. If you need someone with their head down and quiet and entering data or doing IT, that's a totally different personality. But the clearer you are as an employer as to what you need in the office, the better. And then they also want to know, where am I going to go in this company? Am I going to always stay in this position, or do you have a plan for me? And what is that plan? How long do I have to work here before I can ask for a raise? Some will expect a promotion or a raise after 6 months. Others are totally happy with 3 months or even a year. You need to be aware too that the typical length of time a millennial will stay with you, because they're always looking for something else to feed their mind and to test themselves, is about 18 months. If you can keep a millennial for more than 2 years, you are doing something really well. So, answering all their questions, being totally prepared, not just looking at their resume and saying, yeah, you look good. Okay, can you start tomorrow? And many small businesses at least used to do that. you need to take more time in selecting the right person for your company. And if they're not suitable, you need to be very quick on exiting them.
Awesome. Excellent advice. I guess I must be doing something right. I have a few millennials on my team who've been with me for like 5 years. So excellent.
Yes, you are. So culture, personality,
Yeah.
being respectful. I mean, every generation wants that,
everybody
right?
wants that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the millennials
Expect it.
They expect it. And if you are rude to them or yell at them, or I mean, we all have those days,
Right.
they're out of there.
They don't give you a second chance.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And so you need to be very, very clear on your boundaries,
Right.
what your expectations are. If you know, some in the past and maybe even now will text you and say, I have a dental appointment at 10 o'clock, so I'm not coming in until 1.
Right. Yeah.
Or my parents have planned this great trip in 2 weeks and I have to go.
Yeah.
And you've just started.
So how do you manage that as a boss? Like, you know, that doesn't work for me. So how do you communicate that?
Yeah,
Or how do you deal with it?
Right at the beginning when you're interviewing them, you tell them what your boundaries are, what your expectations are. Have a policy and procedures manual or handbook. Make sure that you give it to them if you hire them, and let them know what the rules are up front.
Right.
You know, if there's a dress code, you need to show by picture.
Right.
This is suitable, this is not.
Okay.
And then you won't have that problem with, you know, them coming in jeans with rips in their, you know, used jean look.
Right. Yeah.
and a t-shirt that says something on the front,
Yeah.
and or they're, you know, they're just not fitting
The corporate culture that you want to have.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you need to tell them before you even hire them
Right.
that these are your expectations, and be so clear on what you expect out of them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you've got a book that will help people really dive in and understand the millennials a little bit more. So tell us about your book.
I do, thank you. So this is my most recent book. It's only been out for a month, and it's called 25 Powerful Strategies to Hire and Successfully Retain Millennials.
Awesome.
So many companies, large and small, have this problem, and turnover expenses are enormous.
Yes.
And if you're not paying attention to the emotional intelligence is what they call it now. HR calls it now, but it's called being nice, being considerate, including them in your discussions, being accountable, and being really authentic and honest in how the business is doing. That is, you know, but this book comes up with 25 key points, tells you then why that's important, and then comes up with all kinds of insights that you can implement.
Fabulous.
So
well, I've got my book, and I'm definitely going to be reading that, because I think it's any business owner who is either thinking about hiring or is hiring and has been having challenges with millennials, either not understanding where they're coming from. It's completely different from how we were raised as far as hiring. So it's a whole new world, and it's something that we have to deal with. You know, for the next 20 years, we're going to be hiring millennials if we're hiring people.
That's right. And the young person that you're going to hire isn't going to change unless you tell them what your boundaries are. And so it's often left to the managers and the other staff to be educated on all the generational differences.
So JoAnne, how can people get a hold of you? I'll put a link to the book in the comment section below this video, but tell us about your website and how can people find out more about you, JoAnne?
Awesome. My business name is Systems for Engaging Teams. So you just put a .com after that and you can go directly to my website. There's another really amazing online book that you can download for free, and it's only 15 pages but full of value on all the generations.
Excellent.
and how to bring them all together. So I look at myself as a generation gap closer.
Awesome.
So if you're having chaos or communication or culture or turnover issues, I definitely invite you to contact me, and I'll be able to assess and figure out a great solution for you and all of your staff.
Excellent. Thanks so much for joining me today, JoAnne. So we're going to head off to the conference now. Thanks again, and yes, please go pick up her book. I think it would be very valuable for you if, as I say, you're either thinking of hiring or you are hiring and don't quite understand the millennial mindset. This book will definitely help clear that up for you. So that's it for today's eTip. We'll talk to everybody later. Bye now.
Bye.